Imagine waking up one day with the power to be anything you desire: a wealthy merchant, a mighty blacksmith, even the blazing sun itself. But what if, after chasing every dream, you still feel empty? This is the story of Anselm, a simple stonecutter who learns a profound truth. No matter how much we change the outside, true contentment comes from within. Stay with me, because what he discovers will change the way you see your own life. In a small village, nestled between towering mountains and lush forests, there lived a humble stonecutter named Anselm. He was known for his strong hands and unyielding work ethic, but also for the deep furrows of frustration etched across his brow. Day after day, Anselm would rise with the sun and set out to the quarry, chipping away at the massive stones that the villagers used to build their homes and walls. Despite his labor, Anselm often felt dissatisfied. He envied the wealthy merchant who lived in a grand house overlooking the village, the strong blacksmith whose forge roared with the flames of industry, and even the mountain itself, standing majestically, untouched by the burdens of life. One day, while he was at work, Anselm muttered to himself, "If only I were the merchant, I would be truly happy. I would have all that I need and more. I would be content." To his astonishment, as soon as he spoke these words, a strange and powerful force transformed him into the very merchant he envied. He found himself dressed in fine robes, standing in the grand house he had always admired. For a while, Anselm was overjoyed with his new life. He enjoyed the wealth, the respect, and the ease that came with his new status. But it wasn't long before he grew discontented once more. He noticed that despite all his riches, he lacked the physical strength and respect that the blacksmith commanded. Anselm yearned to be as powerful as the blacksmith. And so, once again, he wished, "If only I were the blacksmith, I would be truly happy." As before, his wish was granted. He found himself in the blacksmith's forge, hammering glowing iron into strong, sharp tools. The heat of the forge was intense, but Anselm felt invigorated by his newfound strength. Yet, as time passed, the flames that once gave him strength began to sap his energy. He grew weary of the constant toil, and the respect he had craved felt hollow without the wealth he once enjoyed. One day, as he worked, the sun's rays beat down on him through the small window of his forge. He looked up at the sky, realizing that the sun was more powerful than any man. "If only I were the sun," he thought, "then I would be truly content, for nothing is greater than the sun." Once again, Anselm's wish was granted. He found himself high in the sky, radiating warmth and light over the entire world. He felt a sense of power unlike anything he had ever known, but soon he noticed something unsettling. A dark cloud obscured his light, casting a shadow over the land. The cloud could block his rays and control where his warmth reached. Anselm grew restless once more, and his envy turned toward the cloud. "If only I were the cloud, I would be happy," he thought. And with that, he became the cloud. He moved across the sky, shading the earth, bringing rain to the fields and nourishing the land. For a time, he was pleased with his new form, but then he felt something strange. The mountain below him, tall and unyielding, refused to be moved by his winds or rain. The mountain was more powerful than the cloud, and Anselm once again longed for greater strength. "If only I were the mountain," he wished, "then I would be truly unshakable." In an instant, he became the mountain. He stood tall and proud, impervious to the elements, unmovable and strong. Anselm finally felt at peace. But as he basked in his newfound might, he heard a familiar sound. the chipping of a chisel against his rocky surface. He looked down and saw a stonecutter working diligently, shaping the very mountain that he now was. It was then that Anselm realized the power and contentment he had sought in others was within him all along. As the Stonecutter, he had shaped the world in his own way, with patience and resilience. He understood that his dissatisfaction had not stemmed from his circumstances, but from his own mind. No matter what he became, his discontent followed him. In that moment of clarity, Anselm accepted his true form. He returned to being the stonecutter, but with a heart full of wisdom and peace. He understood that true contentment came not from external change, but from within. With renewed purpose, he resumed his work, now seeing each strike of his chisel as a step toward mastery, not only of stone, but of himself. From that day forward, Anselm's furrows of frustration faded, replaced by a calm demeanor and a serene smile. He had learned the Stoic truth that it is not the world that needs changing, but the way we see it.